If your child has fever, the first thing you think of is malaria, right? But here's the scary part. Not every fever is malaria, and sometimes malaria can be deadly if you ignore certain signs. Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. I'm Dr. Asiya, and here we break down common health issues we experience. Malaria is caused by a parasite found in female Anopheles mosquito and is transmitted through mosquito bites. But in children, malaria causes fever, but that's not just it. It goes on to affect the blood. And in severe complicated cases, it can go on to affect the brain, which we call cerebral malaria. So what is cerebral malaria? Cerebral malaria is when this parasite has gone through the blood vessels and entered the brain. These parasites now narrow the blood vessels in the brain, and the patients start experiencing some of these dangerous signs I'm going to mention now. The first one is convulsion. Convulsion is when the patient suddenly starts shaking, and shaking is very fast. It is uncontrollable. That is convulsion. It might look like a vibration. The second one is coma. Coma is a state of deep sleep. That's the best I can describe it. Like the person is alive, but you're calling the person, she's not answering or he's not answering. You're tapping he or she's not responding. You're even pinching the person or trying to inflict pain, and the person is still not responding. Even loud noises is not waking the person up. That is a state of coma. So another sign is that after convulsion, 30 minutes after convulsion occurs, if the child goes into coma, that's another thing. If the child is extremely weak, that the child cannot sit unsupported or stand unsupported, the child is not eating and the child is just sleepy almost all the time, the child can also be experiencing difficulty breathing or deep breathing. The child can also present with yellow eyes. All these are dangerous signs of cerebral malaria. So if you notice any of these signs, please treat it as an emergency and take the child to the nearest health center. You see, many parents just see the child has fever and they just assume automatically that it's malaria. But cerebral malaria occurs in 1% of children less than 5. And malaria can actually be deadly in children that are less than 5 years old. Something I've noticed lots of parents, should I say Nigerian parents do, is that they just treat the child, they treat the malaria over and over again. They go to a nearby chemist or pharmacy and get anti-malaria and use. Sometimes they even use the leftover anti-malaria from the previous one they got and use it again without seeing a doctor. And sometimes they just think, oh, it's just a direct fever. You just give paracetamol or ibuprofen, it's going to come back to normal. But that's not the case, especially if your child is less than 5 years. Do not just see it as just malaria. Take action, no matter how little. So, take your child to the hospital if your child has any of the following: a fever that keeps getting high and it lasts for 2 to 3 days, despite using paracetamol or tepispongin and it doesn't work, or if your child is just unusually weak and not feeding well. Also, if your child had any of the symptoms I mentioned, please take the child to the hospital. Look, let me tell you the truth. Your best bet is prevention, to prevent malaria from happening by using insecticide treated nets. Try to avoid things that could breed malaria in your homes and treat any symptom as quickly as possible. Yes, I know that we stay in a malaria endemic zone, but it doesn't mean that every fever your child experiences is just malaria. If you enjoyed today's episode, let me know in the comment section what you would like me to talk about next. So if this video has helped you as a nursing mother, do not forget to subscribe, like, and share to other nursing mothers. You can also follow us on other social media platforms such as Instagram, which is SIA_series, and TikTok known as Scrubs and Stories. See you in my next video. Bye.